episode of the Urban Paranormal Podcast, where you might be crazy to some,
but you're family to us. Hey, what up?
As always, I'm your host, JH.
And I'm your moderator, Trent A. Johnson.
Anchorman Dave R. reporting for duty, and
in his many voices, the voice of Erica.
What up?
And your super repeat offender ego.
What up,
What
Ego?
Hey, can't forget the show coordinator, the weatherman.
A.K.A. Junebug.
Tropical storm, baby.
tropical depression.
I
Now
couldn't think of
turning
a
into
name. I was
sunrise.
thinking of a juju bead or something like that.
So today, guys, we're going to talk about the terror in apartment 213.
Ooh.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Dahmer.
All right.
One of the sickest motherfuckers ever.
He's pretty
Yeah.
sick.
A true psychopath in his form with a psychological diagnosis of sexual sadism and Asperger's disorder.
Goddamn.
That was even before it
Asperger's.
came out.
Wow.
Asperger's is, it does make you eat people. So take a look.
But it could still be a disorder, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he could learn how to do cannibalism, but go on, Jay.
Okay.
No, I'm just crediting you. That's all.
No, I know.
No, but I
but-
know somebody with Asperger's.
Yeah, you do. You definitely do.
Oh, that's really a real
Are they
thing.
cannibalistic?
Yeah.
No, they're not,
No,
because
they're
it's not
not.
that.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
he was like his Asperger. I was like,
Okay.
It
so,
sounds funny as fuck.
yeah. So
Asperger's.
So anyway, like I was saying, Jeffrey Dahmer's, man, this guy, you all know the stories. He ate people. He murdered people. Obviously, then he ate them. Hopefully, it's not the other way around. But he murdered people and he ate them.
Wow.
He did.
We're going to talk about what actually happened in his apartment.
Yeah.
And it was pretty sad. And I know most of you guys know the story, but me personally, I want to talk to you guys at home about the idea and concept, of having a child that became this killer.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's
because
scary.
The signs are always there, and I think people shouldn't ignore the signs because even
know,
when he
right.
was young, he was killing his neighbors' pets
Yeah.
and doing crazy shit
Right.
with their heads and putting them on sticks and shit. He was
But
a kid doing that.
Yeah, but
Right.
it was kind of
Kind of what?
on the line because his dad was like a what do you call it?
his dad was a chemist.
His dad was
okay. So he was
his dad was a chemist who had to like deal with bones and
okay. So that was his way of doing experiments.
and shit like that, and he taught that shit
Yeah.
to his son. And his
So-
son had
So
like
he's gonna be fucked up regardless, basically.
I guess so.
Well, I wouldn't say he'd be fucked up.
I don't say
Well,
regardless.
interesting
he's
things.
very, intelligent.
No, that's true.
Yeah, he was very fucked up.
Right.
Yeah, he was very fucked
Yeah.
up.
Right.
But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, you teaching your kid. I don't think he was teaching them that
to do
kill.
that.
He was teaching them a skill.
Right.
You know
And
what I'm
then
saying?
He took it and ran with it. in
He
his
took
own
it and
direction.
ran with it in his own
Right.
way.
Right.
And see, that's really important. So his dad was
Mhm.
teaching him this skill, and he ran with it in his own
In
way.
his own way.
So what about the mother?
Well,
Well, his mother was
A counselor.
yeah, and
Okay.
she was very
so that's where he's got his intellectual.
she I don't want what I say self-centered. She was self-centered. She wanted a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't show very much attention to
To her.
Jeffrey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And he said that affected him in certain ways. You know what I'm saying?
Which probably led him
Okay.
to want to go off on his own doing crazy shit.
And do
Okay.
certain shit,
Okay,
yeah.
and that
But there was no like abuse like with
Yeah.
most serial killers. and
right.
shit. There was none of that.
And that's what I wanted to say
Right.
is that according to Jeffrey's mother and according to Jeffrey's father,
Yeah.
Jeffrey's father was the one that wasn't there, and the mother was trying to give all the compassion that she could to Jeffrey,
Yeah.
but Jeffrey just went his own way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big deal because when you have the dad's skill and then you add the mother's actual skill,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jeffrey knew how to manipulate people
Mm.
in a way that you thought, okay, fuck it, let me sit down and let you eat part of me. You know,
Oh, wow.
he had that ability.
Yeah.
He really did. He was
Apparently-
armed.
Apparently he did it, or at least get him to feel comfortable
Well,
alone with him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know how cold he was, which I hope I'm not blowing one of you guys' things, but there was even a victim who ran away and the cops got him.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey used his mother's ability, his gifts, to speak to her
Yeah.
and let the cops were like, hey, take him back in the house, goddammit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
That's a skill.
That is a
That's
skill.
a mighty
Either that or poor police work.
Poor police work.
a good combination.
No,
Because the girl, there was some girls that was there.
Yeah, there was two black
Yeah,
girls.
and they were saying they his boy is in trouble, and he came saying like, "This is my boyfriend. He's just a little drunk or high, whatever."
Yeah.
And they like, "Well, take him back to the house. We don't want to know what y'all doing."
See, but then that's not called poor police work. What that's called is manipulation. Jeffrey got there, looked the part, and was able to put himself in a certain light that made the police do. Basically, Jeffrey Dahmer did the Jedi mind trick.
All
He
he
did.
did was do
Yeah.
white.
It was part
And
of
because he was white, and he
Yeah.
was clean cut white guy.
Yeah.
He was able to get away with it.
You
But if
got
he was
these
one
two
of
black
us,
girls.
But again, that is part of the manipulation. When have you ever sat in front of a counselor and the counselor was dressed up as a hip hop artist? Never. They was always clean cut. They looked the part. So you automatically felt like you're going to get something out of this counseling session because this person knows something. They looked the part.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I actually listened to the police recording
Oh, really?
of the cop,
Mhm.
and the dispatcher was asking, "Well, how old was this kid?" He was like, "Nah, he was an adult." And what I heard in his voice
I fucked up.
was a cop that really didn't want to get involved. What he seen was two gay lovers.
Oh,
So he saw-
yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And he almost had like a little laughing like in his voice, like he was like, "Hey, yeah, I left the motherfuckers."
Kind of
and-
take it a little lightly.
yeah, but the kid was actually a 14-year-old.
Right.
He was from Laos, 14-year-old kid. Yeah, but we got a little ahead of ourselves there. I was kind of saving that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Come
though.
back to that.
We'll come back to that.
But I'm glad you brought up this one part.
Yeah.
The idea and concept of what Trent just said is that the way this cop sound. So you have to remember the dates when this was.
Yeah.
And homosexuality, though it was around, it wasn't as it is
Accepted.
today.
Yeah.
Today. So a lot of the older people frowned upon that. Didn't want to have anything to do with it. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you came off again, counseling, fitting this particular thing, a lot of people would push you to the side. They don't want to hear nothing you saying. Whatever it is, okay, look, where you want to go? Oh, it's down that way, and they'll keep going.
Right.
They didn't want no parts of you. So a lot of these things that Jeffrey was doing was in places like if we done other serial killers, it was people who wouldn't have been missed. Well, in this time period, the homosexuality thing was different. So at gay clubs, gay things, cops don't really want to hang out there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it made things a lot easier for Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Jeffrey also.
So let's talk a little bit about the young Jeffrey.
Okay.
Sound like you got a bit about it.
Well, only just what you kind of brought up already.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. I know he was born in 1960. You know, all his crimes took place in Milwaukee.
Okay.
He was known as the Milwaukee Cannibal or the Milwaukee Monster. He was able to tally up 17 victims, which the interesting part was to me was that most of his victims were black.
Right.
Yeah.
So
okay.
10 out of his
Jungle
yeah, he had jungle fever, or he liked dark meat.
Like,
in more,
I was gonna say dark
in
meat.
more ways than one.
Like
you
dark
know what I'm
meat.
saying?
Well, he liked to decapitate them.
Well, hold
Yeah.
on, hold on. I got to take up at this point.
Okay.
Again, remember the patterns that the serial killers are doing. They want to get people who are not looked upon, right? So when you go to the neighborhoods, right? In the neighborhoods, the majority are black people
Yeah.
or these people. So he went to those neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And he know cops don't really want to fuck with these people.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
he's-
then you know
clean.
that was a big thing when he finally did get busted. They were saying because you know these two black women tried. There was two black women when we was talking about the
Right.
little Asian kid.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying that because they were black and this was a black neighborhood, that's why you know they weren't able to stop the killings earlier because they could have stopped if they would have went in this house that day. They could have saved.
They could have stayed. Yeah.
Saved a lot of lives. But in Jeffrey Dahmer's interview, he said it wasn't about black people. He said it was about finding the nicest looking man he could. They just happened to be black.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, that's Jeffrey said that shit. But
Yeah, he said that
he
shit.
said that we are the best looking people on the planet.
Yeah, that's what he
That's
said.
what he's fucking said.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the best ones he could find at 2 in the morning and shit.
Right.
Shame on you for raping black men and women.
I don't think
Shame on you,
I don't
Jeff.
I don't
He
think he
didn't rape
raped
any women.
anybody. I don't think he
didn't
raped.
rape no
He
well,
did.
well, oh yeah, he
The
did.
dead
some rape.
bodies.
Yeah, he
He
did the
did
dead
some
bodies.
rapage.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm sorry, I forgot. There is a thing about the rape thing.
Yeah.
He
Back,
would drug them and then
Yes.
rape them.
yeah, he used to go to the damn this little gay bar is where he was trying to get his fantasies out, and he would would pay for the guys to go to the back room and everything like that. He would drug them basically, and he would rape them and leave.
He wasn't even just that bus stops.
He would
wherever
take,
he could get his
he would
hands.
take them to the house.
Yeah.
He said he would start off at gay clubs, and if he couldn't get any action at the gay club, he would go to bathhouses,
That was hot in the 80s.
and then he would offer them money, and they would come back to his house, and that's where he had some type of sleeping pill concoction
yeah.
that he would give them, and once they would sleep, he was bang bang time. You know what I'm saying? Bang
Right.
bang bang.
Right.
You
right.
know what I'm
This
saying?
the sleeping pill wasn't it the date rape? I'm just curious.
No, he said it was some type of sleeping pill concoction. So
Okay.
Yeah.
whatever that means.
Whatever.
He would lace them.
Something he threw together.
All right.
He
Yeah,
threw it together, but then
yeah.
he'll strangle them to death
Right.
too.
Right.
Well,
yeah.
what this is before. See,
Yeah.
before he actually started this,
Started to kill
Oh,
he,
yeah.
was,
Oh,
he
yeah.
was going to these places, knocking them up in the back room.
Right.
And
Knock
far
'em
and
off.
far as the sleeping concoction, for some reason,
Right.
I remember the one of the ingredients was Visine,
Okay.
and in the drink or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
how
you
it-
go to his house and you wake up with your
busted asshole.
with your butt hurting and shit.
Right.
Not know why and shit.
well, actually,
Not
he-
to laugh, man.
Right.
It's just yeah.
but actually at the bathhouses and stuff,
Yeah.
he was actually raping them there, and he would leave. So yeah, he wouldn't try to go to the same place every night, type of thing, because now you just remember you just went in the back. They know you went in the back,
Yeah.
and you're gonna come out and say, "Hey, that guy raped me." You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You
Yeah.
didn't. So people was being quiet about it for a minute.
Yeah, he was actually paying those guys.
Okay, yeah,
He was
could
actually
have.
paying those guys because I watched I watched a few documentaries before I got here today doing my research, and he was just like the bathhouses was like his for show shot
Right.
Because
You
so
know
many
what I'm
men
saying?
walking around.
because the gay club
And they all
was,
looking for
so
sex,
is a
basically.
bathhouse like a gay thing or something?
It was like a gay
Well,
club
yeah.
without the music.
okay,
Yeah, 'cause
okay.
with saunas and shit. That's
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right, because when
Pool
I
house.
watched him when he was talking about it,
Uh-huh.
I just knew that it was the gay club, right, and whatever. And at that time, when he was saying at that time that that's where he started his sexual fulfillment.
Yeah.
But he didn't mention that he paid him at that time.
Yeah, he did. It was
But
on the ones I
I'm pretty
saw,
sure
so.
later on, yeah, that's probably what it
Well, the
was.
ones he was able to lure to the house.
Oh, okay. See, those people he didn't. He left them there. He had
Yeah.
just started his
Yeah,
sexual fantasies.
That was the extra incentive was to pay them to come to the house.
Right.
And I'm sure he got his money back.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know in ass, huh?
Yeah, and
He really took his money
that
back, I'm
money.
sure.
Shit,
Wow.
he
I'm
brought
like,
him
he's
to
like,
the house.
you dead bodies don't need this money. So
Wow.
I mean, did anyone actually? Because this is what I don't know. Did anyone actually go to Jeffrey's apartment, have sex with him, and leave?
and leave.
Yeah, a few people
few.
did.
A few people did.
Yeah.
Okay, now I remember the one that blew everyone lost their shit behind was a black guy.
That's the end of the podcast.
What?
Let's save that one.
Oh, okay.
All
Yeah.
Give him a tease.
That's
You
the
about to
climax.
bust
That was
the
a
nut
teaser.
already.
Oh,
You
okay.
bust the
Give him
nut
all the
already.
load.
Okay.
let's talk about it. The young Jeff.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He served in the military.
Sure did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How old? I think he was like fresh out of high school
Yes.
when he committed his first murder.
Okay.
Damn.
And I think Ego, didn't you have something on that?
His first
Yeah.
human murder.
Yeah, his first human murder.
He
Yeah,
had his first murder, but then he tried to go to college,
yeah.
and he was an alcoholic,
Yeah.
and so his father's got him to go into the military, and he was in the military, and he was like one of the medical people in the military. So I guess that's where a lot of his experience also came from.
Yeah.
Like
And then they were saying that there was a few soldiers that said they were raped by him in the military.
What the
But-
really?
yeah, but they couldn't prove it. So he was discharged from the military.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like because that was his MO, the little sleeping pills. Then bang
Wow.
Bingo, bingo, bang.
Then bang bang time.
How in the hell do you, as a grown man, you be like, hey, that dude.
I mean, that's just like if David drops something in your drink, you get sleepy. Like, damn, I'm sleepy. Then you wake up. You know what I'm saying?
I
with a
know.
loose ass.
I know, but
down.
what I'm saying is, how do you come to
Right down.
terms and say, "Hey, look, my higher ups,
Say,
something
man, he
happened.
fucked me, dog.
I think he got me, dog."
Yeah, he fucked me, dog.
It was
For
some,
real.
cum dripping out my ass. And I
Now,
know I ain't never had no
Jay,
shit.
come on with
I'm-
the visual, man.
I'm just saying. How
Wow.
do you say that to another grown man?
I
that
mean,
you
if
didn't
you
have to
waking
say
up,
anything.
your shit ain't feeling right. You like, man, hold on.
I've been raped.
Look at this.
Well, let's ask somebody who have experience. So, David, go ahead. Tell us what you're gonna say.
No.
Okay,
Oh,
to
shit.
support his motive in order to
Yeah.
get his way with either a man or a a woman, of whatever he's trying to target.
No
He
women.
didn't have no women.
No
No
women.
women.
baby.
There was no
Okay,
women.
there was no women. Let's just go with men. I'm looking at his psychological profile and his social, incompetence profile. And basically, when he grew up, he grew an interest in taxidermy, but he couldn't be. He was too afraid. He didn't have any eye contact. He was pretty depressed because he didn't have the two.
He would pick
attention.
up roadkill.
Yes,
Yeah.
he would,
Yeah.
and so forth. Okay, fast forwarding. He was a psychopath, but he also had anger and aggressiveness that those feelings pushed him to kill and go for the sexual desire later on that he was practicing. The social
wow.
incompetence that he revealed as a young kid, he avoided eye contact, and when he didn't develop any social skills, that's where he lacked, the interaction and compassion for them, and he developed his psychopathic skill to just go for the kill and just be like, okay, I want you, blah, 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 I'll pay, then I'm going to go do what I got to do, sleep you, kill
I
you,
like you,
bang,
I
bang, bang,
want you.
and then
He's
eat him up
basically
or
a
whatever
booty
he
warrior.
wants to do his sick
But
crap.
Okay,
Basically,
so
his
that first
opportunity was toys. They were his
so
sex
look,
toys.
so his first victim
His
was in
passion.
1978. He was fresh
Okay.
out of high school.
Right.
His first victim was 18-year-old Stephen Hicks.
Mhm.
He killed him with what did he hit him with, a barbell
Yeah,
or
10
something?
pound barbell. That was a
Yeah.
hitchhiker.
Yeah.
Oh, the hitchhiker.
Yeah, he killed him, had sex with his body,
Yeah.
dismembered him, and bleached his bones like his dad taught him.
Uh-huh.
But you know something about
You know what I'm
that?
Taxidermy
saying? And he crushed the bones with a hammer and spread them out in the field. So that was his first victim.
Well, with that first victim, he saw the guy hitchhiking, and the guy didn't
Yeah.
have a shirt on, so he thought like, "Oh wow, this is
Yeah.
the guy I want,"
Yeah.
And he got the guy. He talked to the guy. He said, "Come to my house and have a couple of beers."
Yeah.
And when he got the guy to the house with a couple of beers, he thought he was gonna be able to do something with him. But the guy started talking about girls, and he
Yeah.
said like, "Oh shit, I guess I ain't gonna get this motherfucker."
Right?
So let me just take this motherfucker. So he bust him in the head
Wow.
with that barbell.
And then he said he developed, or he noticed his attraction to men.
Mhm.
He would look out the window and there was this jogger that would pass by his house every day, and he would fantasize about killing him. And he said he actually set up in the woods with a baseball bat one day to kill him, but just so happened that day the jogger didn't jog by.
Right.
That was that dude's lucky fucking day.
It was.
For real.
And this
It
wasn't Stephen Hicks.
No, that
That's
Stephen
someone
Hicks
else.
was his first kill.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Stephen Hicks was the 18-year-old, his first kill.
Yeah, and you've already said that he hit him with a 10-pound dumbbell. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah, hell yeah.
You know, that's kind of weird that he did that because when I was a kid, younger, I did the same, but not a person
Well,
jogging.
You did the same as what?
Men,
No,
Hid in the
no, no.
woods with a bat.
No, yeah, I used a bat, right? And it was this fucking dog.
Don't say that on air, Jay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Peter's coming for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Where was this going?
yeah,
I
but
know,
every
right?
day I dreamed of
Killing this dog?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
What did the dog do? Did he bark crazy every night or?
No, it kept knocking down the trash.
Oh, okay, that's understandable.
Right, it kept knocking down the trash.
We
I
don't
would-
want to know the ending.
Right, and I would have to go out there and pick it up every day, every
Oh,
day.
wow.
And so I would see the dog at night, and then he would do it, and he'd run off. Piss me off. Every day I dreamed about killing it.
Makings of a
Did you ever
serial
do
killer.
anything about it?
Oh,
Hey, hey, hey,
We'll talk.
Makings of a
Back to you,
serial-
Trent.
Back to you, Jay. I know, right? That's crazy. Yeah, so this dude was developing his sick ass persona or skills, whatever you want to call
Serial
it.
Taking
miss-
photographs of
As-
dismembered process and cutting off victims' skulls and genitals for display. Sick ass man. Go on.
Well, he was on his way.
No, that's when he was an adult. We were doing the kids stuff.
Oh, never mind. That was the
Yeah.
adult.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I mean,
Sorry.
just learning this shit from his dad. Do you think that had a big
It did.
No,
It did.
a big influence on what he had going on?
nope.
He wouldn't even think to be chopping up no bones.
Nah.
And doing
Well,
all
his
types of
like I said,
chemical
his
shit.
dad was
They
a
wouldn't know how to do
was a
it.
He wouldn't
chemist,
know.
and he had to bleach
Taxidermist.
bones and take the meat off take the flesh off animal bones.
He probably was getting little erectile, situations in his little pants.
Probably
when
so.
his daddy was doing that, and I'll be right back, Dad.
And his dad said in hindsight
yeah.
that it was he had like a fascination that was
Perhaps it developed
surreal.
like a coping
Yeah.
mechanism.
Well,
later on
he-
when he was an adult.
Here's my thing. If my dad is a professional bowler, he is a bowler,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And he has a bowling ball at home, and I use the bowling ball and I smash a motherfucker in their head and it kills them. Then, I feel like, hey, this is a great weapon.
Yeah.
And I start doing that. Are we going to say, oh, if his dad never would have been bowling, that this would not have added to his fascination with busting people in the head with
I
it?
see what you're saying, but it's
Right.
not the same.
Well, he was
Yeah,
dealing
yeah.
with dead bones and shit.
But it doesn't. Dead bones, he's making people dead. Just because he's dealing with dead bones don't mean that would be the like his dad's situation is the reason. You know what I mean? I mean, his dad is teaching him, like you said earlier, a skill.
Well, his dad said that he had a bucket with some animal bones that needed to be bleached, and he said a young Jeffrey came, and he got the bones, and he would pick them up and drop them in the bucket, and they would make a clinking sound.
Mhm.
And he said he was watching the young Jeffrey, and he seen something in him. But in hindsight, though, when he looked back, he said, "This is just like fiddlesticks, Dad." And he was just picking up the bones, dropping them in the can.
Wasn't just normal. You
Yeah,
know
it
what
was
I'm
it was
saying?
abnormal. You know, the way he was so fascinated with these bones.
And
Well-
I'm not necessarily blaming the father, but
No, I'm
the
not
fact that he
blaming him
taught
either.
him certain things, it did raise something within him to want to do the shit that he did.
I mean,
I think the sick sex shit was already there.
It was there. And the whole thing, what you said, dropping those bones, I think what the dad actually saw was his lack of empathy. You see, it wasn't nothing. It was the lack of, these are just bones. He should be going, oh my God,
Yeah.
and kind of afraid, but
Okay.
instead
I can
he
believe
just
that.
he don't care. He
Yeah.
he doesn't care. That's what the dad saw. Like, wait a minute, where is my son's? He's supposed to be like, oh my God, I don't want to touch this.
Right.
Wow.
But instead he was the other way around.
That's crazy.
So
That makes sense. Lack of
Right.
empathy. Mhm.
But this eating people, man, where did that come from?
I have no clue. I think that, I mean, and it's funny you say that because the dad wrote a book.
He did. It's
And-
it's called A Father's Story or something
Yeah.
like that.
And the mother is trying to get a book done. The problem is that in each book, in each situation, they have these doctors and they're trying to ask why.
Yeah.
And the funny part of that is there is no answer.
Well, the crazy part, because I watched the documentary
Uh-huh.
on his father, not on Jeffrey,
Right.
about him writing this book.
Mhm.
And the crazy part about it is his father said that he had these type of urges as a kid.
Ooh.
Oh shit!
He said he had these urges to hurt people and shit, but he was always able to
Control it.
knock that shit down and control it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe genetically
Mental illness.
it
Yeah.
got passed on, and Jeffrey
Jeff,
wasn't
he can control
The
it.
result
he wasn't
of it.
able to control it.
Right.
Possibly from the mother because the mother had signs of narcissism.
I just said to Dad.
Okay. Never mind.
Are you on the same show? Are you
Yeah, I
kind
know,
of
right?
listening? Can you hear us in the headphones?
Yes, I can hear you on the headphones.
Wow.
I was responding that Dad was just kind of observing, and then I also was looking into the notes that the mom had some signs of narcissism.
Yeah, his
Okay.
name was Lionel Dahmer.
Yes, Lionel Dahmer.
And the book was called A Father's Story.
Right.
Yeah, he said he had the same impulses of hurting people, but was always able to shake them off.
So that's why he took on the profession that he took on because he was still hurting
Probably so.
something
Well,
living.
Could be
he
possible.
was
You
a
know what I'm saying?
chemist. He was a chemist. I
Yeah,
don't,
but I wouldn't brush that off. His ass was sick too,
Yeah,
and he liked to skin shit and break bones.
he was
that
he was an exploratory
Yeah.
chemist, meaning he had to break down bones, and
that was his.
that was his field.
That's what people probably do.
That might be a correlation together.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, okay.
it only makes sense.
Okay. All right. I mean, well, what's really weird is that the dad did have these, which is weird to me because I think that earlier David used the word psychopath.
mm-hmm.
And if you actually know what the word means, the problem is that it's so much negative about it. It's attached to all of these different serial killers. But in reality, most people with aggression are psychopaths. It's only a certain few that go on to do horrible things. So being labeled a psychopath don't mean you're a serial killer. Okay,
Wow.
That's true.
and that's what I'm saying. So
Sociopath.
so when his dad did it, he was able to push it down, and Jeffrey didn't. And I think that sucks where the dad says about the neglect, because he knew what he had, and therefore he should have set his son down and had that conversation with his
Yeah.
son.
Well,
Right.
maybe he wasn't thinking it would go
Oh,
that
no,
far.
Nobody
no.
thinks their kid is gonna. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone does. I do. I sit down with
you
my
think
children.
your kid is gonna be a serial killer?
Not a serial killer, but I try to explain to them that what they have in them, they need to control it. You know, hey, you might get mad about
Well, your
things.
kids sound a little different.
Well, I'm just saying you might get mad about things. Don't let that overpower you.
Okay.
You know, you have these conversations with your children. So I think his neglect part comes from that, and that was a mistake. That
Maybe he
made.
should have pushed his son from doing that and maybe to writing a cookbook.
Well, I don't think there's no way he could have known.
No, he did.
He, like Jay said, he thought he was just teaching his son the skill that he knew.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And we all do that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
but it just seems funny because he turned out like eating the people.
Well,
And
yeah.
cooking
Well,
the
I
people.
mean, being a chemist and eating people, that's
I mean, you
two
know,
whole different. He knew how to prepare the meat. You know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Shit.
That's why he would have made a good cookbook.
Right. So he had a hell of a cool down period, Jay, because after his first murder, he didn't commit another murder for 9 years.
That's a long time.
correct.
Yeah, he had a hell of a cool down period. And I watched the interview, and he said it was the only reason because there wasn't a convenient time to do it.
Right.
He couldn't find the right victim, the right spot, the right place, the right murder weapon.
It probably really brewed a lot of shit up in him.
Yeah,
Like,
that shit
this,
was
I gotta
probably
release it.
building.
Shit, to me, he was perfecting his skills.
Yeah.
He probably
Well,
was doing that too.
he couldn't perfect if he wasn't doing. So
Well,
therefore,
strategizing.
what I'm saying is,
He
was
you know what I'm saying?
fantasizing
Making sure-
about doing it.
fantasizing, stuff
Right.
like that.
you know, I think that it's very weird that all of these serial killers, right, because of technology, you know, are being caught or were caught or all of these things. It was like you could kill whoever you wanted in the 1950s, 60s and get away with the shit until technology caught them,
Yeah.
right? And then you have all these people analyzing. And the funny part is they go, why did he eat people? Guess what? No one actually knows. So when there is an absence of the answer, people start to speculate and make up their own theories on why these people do.
Well, I think he actually gave an answer. I don't know if it was the truth.
Right.
He said it was because he wanted to possess them forever.
Yeah. That's his wanting need. That's his reasoning, but that's not the reason.
He wanted to make
you know
a
what I'm saying?
sex zombie.
That's not the reason he literally did what he did, because there's a process. You see what I'm saying? He what he did, he was gay. He had sex. He did these things. He killed small animals. Okay? This was not in the means, I killed a small animal so I can possess it forever. Nope, that's not true.
Well, I'm talking about the killing of the people. I'm
Right.
What he said from his mouth
Right.
was that the reason why he kept these skulls,
Mhm.
the reason why he ate these people, because he never wanted them to leave. That's
Right.
the whole reason why he was trying to make a zombie, because
Right.
he never wanted them to leave. He
He
wanted
wanted
to
a sex
possess.
zombie.
He wanted to, I said that, and you said it twice. He wanted to possess these people forever
Right.
Wow.
Right. And what I'm
in
saying
some
is
type of way.
that is 100
Yeah.
because most serial killers will take trinkets
Something.
from them, right, as a prize, as a possession. But what I'm saying, the answer is why. Why do you feel the need to do this? You know what I mean? Why? And you can say what you want,
Yeah.
but there is no actual, they can't give an actual answer other than I did it because, hell, I didn't want him to leave me. I didn't want to be lonely. I wanted to possess him. I mean,
Well, I think to us, when we hear that, it sounds crazy to us, but it probably made perfect sense to him.
to him, yeah, but he
you
don't.
know what I'm saying?
But it's also a situation in my mind that same dude probably need counseling to understand himself. He did not know himself yet.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe.
I promise you, if you set him down with Jeffrey Dahmer and John Wayne Gacy, boy, and they all just spoke and told exactly what they felt. You know what I mean? That would be amazing to hear them, because if you did that, as crazy as it sounds, it's exciting to me, but as crazy as it sounds, it would save a lot of people from dying in the future.
Yeah, probably would.
You know, because if they tell the truth.
Yeah. Who knows if they are telling the truth?
Right.
Exactly.
But I think a lot of them are, because and then there might be some that might just want that Coke they drinking during the interview and probably making up shit. You know what I'm
Exaggerate.
saying?
Right, right. Now that's always a possibility.
Yeah,
That's, or that cigarette.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I know,
saying?
right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
For another cigarette, I'll tell you another story.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Yeah, you know. So I tell you what, guys, we are talking about at this point that you've seen, we're talking about kind of like the young Jeffrey Dahmer psychologically, you know, and why? Just why?
Yeah.
And that
beginnings.
right at the beginnings. I mean, and the reason why will elude us until the day we die.
Right.
You know. So you guys at home, what I would like you to do is I would like you to hit like, share, and subscribe. Okay. And you know, if you're feeling, you know, really good and you like what we're talking about at this point, you know,
Send us a little something.
yeah. You know, send us, you know, a tip, a donation and stuff to our Cash App at $DSB Media.
Or
Okay.
if you have a show idea, you want to be on the show, shit, you just want to talk shit to Jay, you can send us an email at urbanparanormal13@gmail.com.
Okay. And we will be right back after this.
Hey.
Hello, my name is Robert Richard, and I'm the host of an exciting new show called What's That Net Worth, where you and the contestants guess the cash flow of the most popular celebrities around today for cash and prizes. I want you to go to Ego Network TV on YouTube to watch the show. Please, please, please like, subscribe, and also follow us on Instagram at ego_network_TV. I'll see you there.
Welcome back, guys.
What up? What up? We're back.
We are talking about the terror in 213. But first, I would like to say I have a news update, and it's not serial killer, but it's just a world record.
Okay.
All right. Today, in South Africa, a woman gives birth to decouplets.
Decouplets. How many is that?
Please explain. Please
Sound
explain.
like titties.
That is 10 children.
God.
All right.
God
At
damn.
first, the record was 8, but now
Wow.
in North Africa, the woman gave birth to 10.
That's some paranormal shit. Sound like puppies, bro.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like
She had a
puppies.
litter of babies.
Yeah, she
God
did.
Damn.
So,
Explosive
Hey,
semen.
and speaking of news, ain't tonight supposed to be like the Ring of Fire?
no, what about that shit?
The
Tell
Ring
me.
of Fire solar eclipse. Isn't that tonight?
I have no idea.
I think so.
I think that's a. I think someone should know that. Should be like the guy next to me.
I know the news guy.
Yeah, he should know that.
Can you,
I
can
don't-
you find something out about that, David?
What's
The Ring. You got your headphones on?
Yes, I do.
The Ring of Fire
Ring of Fire?
solar
Let me go
eclipse.
look it up right
yeah.
now.
Okay.
I was looking up for the decouplets, but let's do Ring of Fire.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, it was right in front of you.
Yeah. So back to old Dahmer.
Yeah. So he's a kid. He's done his little dirt, right? He gets into the military. Obviously, men has to come forward and say, "I think the guy raped me." I'm not
Yeah.
quite sure. I mean, my butt feels different. There's cum dropping from it, but I'm not quite sure. I think it was him.
He's fantasized about killing the jogger.
Right.
And not long after he finished high school, he committed his first murder.
Mm-hmm.
And cool down period was long, 9 years. He didn't kill anybody else for those 9 years, but he always had all these sick thoughts and fantasies and
It's
shit.
building up.
Yeah, and he wasn't able to act on them for another 9 years. And I think his parents sent him to stay with his grandmother because his grandmother always had a calming effect on him.
Right.
And so they figured, this motherfucker going kind of buck wild. Let's send him to grandma. She can calm him down.
And change the locks on the door.
Yeah, and that was the worst mistake of their life because that's when he started getting funky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that so the mother and dad had really come out in the open and saying all of these different things, and I think they're really trying to cover a certain amount of sin. Giving the grandmother the children, the son, was solely because the dad, one, was not, and I repeat, the dad was not around, and he really didn't want to be honest. And the mother herself as what's name said was a narcissist. She was going on with her life and doing what she wanted to do, praise. So they really didn't have any time for young Dahmer. So
Yeah.
they sent him to the grandmother. And we all know this. Our grandmothers will take the time to whoop that ass or to love you. It's your choice.
And then they had a second child, and that sure didn't give Dahmer any attention.
See?
Yeah, so and that's when they sent him to grandma, like you said.
Yeah. You know, so I think the parents coming out with what they're saying, they're just trying to cover up for the sins or the failures that they did, which are no different than a lot of us today, and we just don't expect our failures to turn around and start eating people.
Yeah, I mean, well, you could say sins and failures.
I have a lot of sins and failures.
Because in that case, all parents are failures because
Right.
you got these parents that, okay, they think that I'm making the money, and that's all it takes.
Correct.
And your presence is never needed, but your
Correct.
presence is needed.
Right. Because I
You know what I'm
felt
saying?
that way.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what I'm saying. We all have, that's why I say we all have those sins and failures.
And then
It's just, we just don't expect our failures to start eating people.
yeah.
Do you think any extra nurturing they could have done would have stopped him?
I
from
think in
being
his
who he
case,
was?
I think in his case, I don't think in every case that's so, but I think in his case probably so. What do you think, Jay?
I mean, I can say yes. I could definitely 100% agree with you, Trent. And then there's a part of me that can disagree
Yeah.
because a monster is a monster.
That's right.
You know, and whatever's inside of you, how dark that is, you know, you just need the right stuff to feed it. And
Shit.
and that's a certain situation, a certain living situation. So you could have been very well perfect with your child, but once he left your presence and went outside
Yeah.
and saw someone hit by a car and they're dead,
Yeah.
he would have went like and looked and
And his
laughed
dick
at that.
started getting
Yes, yes. You see what I'm saying? Things, you know, you can prolong things,
Wow.
but I don't think that the that would have had anything to do with what's inside you.
Okay, well, let's fast forward to 1987 when he moves in with grandma.
Okay.
Okay, so grandma wasn't too happy with him because he kept a male mannequin in his room to get his rocks off of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And his grandmother made him throw it away.
Yeah, makes sense.
So this 1987 is when he started his new kill spree.
I guess that's added to his antisocial behavior.
Well, you know, the
Yeah.
funny part about that whole scenario is that Trent also had a female mannequin in his room.
Really?
Did he?
Yeah,
Did
it's-
he really?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Did
Trent.
Yeah,
How recent
yeah,
was this?
Well, I actually had 4 female mannequins,
First of all, where are you getting these mannequins from? That's not just something you
and I
just get.
sold them all for $100 each. How about
Right.
that, Jay?
Well, no, that's a good part. That's a good
Okay.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my point is, even though he had these mannequins, right?
Yeah.
They were female mannequins. Understand? They weren't male. Okay, so even
I wasn't fucking them on
Right,
that.
right. You
So
wasn't-
nobody
I
gonna
didn't say
answer where
that.
you got them from.
Right. But what I'm
Well,
saying is, no. What I'm
That
saying
ain't
is,
important, but
right.
yeah.
What I'm saying is that he had
I'll
them.
tell you off the air.
Oh, okay.
And there isn't any harm in actually having them. So that means that in Jeffrey's situation, even though it was a male mannequin, his grandmother had to have seen him he had to have seen him.
Well, I was just saying he was getting his rocks off. on
Right.
them
What I'm saying,
motherfuckers,
she
yeah.
had to have seen that with her eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing wrong with having a mannequin.
Well, yeah.
You could
Kinda
dress. You could
is.
have something to dress yourself. He could have been.
Yeah.
You know.
Man, I don't know. The reason I had mannequins because I knew they were worth money,
Right.
and
Okay.
I got them for free, and I made like $500 off of them.
Right. But
Yeah.
again, if you was a woman
Uh-huh.
and you had a mannequin in your room, right, and you put your clothes on that mannequin,
That's normal.
that's my
It's
point.
very normal.
That's my
Yeah.
point. That Jeffrey's situation is nothing irregular about him having a mannequin. It was the action that he must have
Yeah.
been caught doing.
Yeah. Okay, so
Right.
like I said, 1987 was when he was able to start killing again. He actually went to a hotel with this young man, and he killed this young man, and he took his body to grandma's house,
The whole body.
the whole body.
Okay.
He was able to get a suitcase and put him in the suitcase, and he took him to grandma's and finished dismembering him, but he kept the head.
Okay, wait a minute. So once he killed the guy, he had already started dismembering to be able to put him in the suitcase.
But I guess so.
Probably.
Okay.
He
yeah.
probably just
'Cause-
had it pre-chopped so he could finish the job.
Because a whole man,
He put a whole
that's
man.
That's
he,
heavy.
He
That's
put
heavy.
a whole man in the
Must be a strong
suitcase.
motherfucker.
He put a whole man in the suitcase, took him to grandma's house, and dismembered him, and kept the head.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
And grandma started to complain about the stench in his room, but she
Mhm.
never thought
It'd
she
be a
never
whole
thought it
body.
would be dead
Right.
bodies.
What's that
Right.
smell?
He would get rid of the bodies. He would do like his dad showed him, bleach the bones,
mhm.
get rid of the flesh, and he would smash the bones up with a hammer until they were dust
Mhm.
and spread them out in the woods. But he would keep the heads.
He loved head.
Yeah, and he said
Yeah.
he would
Heads
keep
split.
the skull, but some of the victims who he found particularly
Attractive.
attractive,
Yeah.
he would keep the head with the flesh on and pickle them.
Pickle them.
Wow.
Pickle
Oh,
head.
to preserve them.
Pickle
yeah,
heads.
yeah.
Pickle heads.
Yep, pickle head.
Wow.
That sound freaky and fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it sounded like he, respect beauty.
Yeah,
He did. He did preserve the
If
severed
men are
heads
beautiful
with,
too, yeah.
inside the refrigerator. There were 3 more severed heads throughout the apartment and so forth,
yeah,
according to this museum, crimemuseum.org.
Yeah, but we were talking about his grandma's house.
yeah. So 1989, he was actually charged with sexual assault. I don't know of who, but he got 5 years probation, and he served less than a year in jail. And when he got out of jail after, I think he served maybe 2 months or something, the first thing he did was go to grandma's house to get his things, his important things, which were
Yeah,
the heads.
the trinkets. Yeah, I remember that.
And he moved into his own apartment.
yeah.
And that's when he went buck.
And that's when the
motherfucking-
fun started.
That's
right?
when the fun really started. He
But
went.
it's interesting that his grandmother didn't find anything.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
well,
so
you
you
know,
think he
she
must got a good
old,
grandmother,
probably
She
not.
wasn't black.
Nah,
Because
she
grandmothers
That
are
was-
nosy.
Yeah.
No,
They'll bust in your
hold
room.
on, hold on, no, stop. My grandma, I swear to you, for everything in heaven,
What?
never
Never touched
walked
herself?
down the hall.
For
Yeah.
real?
My grandmother would
Yeah.
yell at the end of the hall. That's it.
Yeah, he probably had that type of grandmother.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, now my
Okay.
grandmother, on the other hand, she'd have been lifting up the mattresses
Exactly.
and all kinds of
Looking for
shit.
Kicking the
shit.
door and
For
stuff.
real, waving the
Come
fofo.
That damn smell in here.
For
Yeah.
real, is that Badussy?
But here go, but here go the thing. Now,
That
like,
dead dick in
I
there.
know, right?
you know,
Smell dead dick.
yeah.
I know the
That's
smell.
a different
Yeah.
type of. I smell dead dick. Get in here and help me with
For
this
real.
pickled stew.
For real.
He learned how to pickle shit because of her.
Yeah.
Pickled heads in the refrigerator. Let's go.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
He got out of jail for sexual assault.
Yeah,
Now remember, the dad is a chemist.
yeah.
Right.
He's very respected. The
Yes.
mother is a counselor. She's very respected. So how do you think that?
Grandmother was a cook.
How do you think that was with them, knowing that their son went to jail
Mm.
for sexual assault, right, in their community? Like, how do you think that made them look? Do you think that made them want to be around Jeffrey, or them to say, you know what, we fucked up on Jeffrey, fuck that, we just focus on our next child?
I
Well,
think-
shit, he was already 27 years old.
Yeah.
So.
But it's still your child.
But they probably
I
wanted to know where they
understand,
went
but there's
wrong.
there's a point. Hey, Lee, you want to fuck and kill? Do your thing. I done my part. You know what I'm saying?
Obviously not a good part, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it depends, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we talked about, sometimes you could do your best, but a person is going to be who they're going to be.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. That's a
It's
fact.
not always the parents' fault. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you guys at home,
True.
I'm not trying to say it's the parents' fault, because I have something else for you because of what I've said on multiple shows. But go ahead, Champ.
Go ahead with what?
Oh, I thought you was finishing. I had cut you.
I was about to say, you know,
David was.
in regards to the Ring of Fire solar eclipse in Michigan, that's going to appear on Thursday. It's going to appear on Thursday morning from 5:50 a.m. to 19:11 a.m. A little more information. Paulette Epstein, planetarium director, staff astronomer, and solar system ambassador of the Michigan Science Center, said this eclipse will be
Eclipse.
Yes, will be visible in our location as the sun rises. The next solar eclipse visible in North America.
So the Ring of Fire it starts when?
It starts. I will
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah, we don't care
Thursday.
about the next one.
2023, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2023, and basically,
October the 14th. That's
So,
it.
but this Ring of Fire is supposed to be something different than a regular eclipse.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's a stronger one. It emits a little more solar flares according
Okay.
to the footage.
Okay.
What make you talk about this right now?
Oh,
Because I asked him to.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked him to bring that up because it's supposed to be a big thing. It
Oh,
doesn't
right.
doesn't happen very often. It's supposed to be visible to everybody.
Okay.
And because it's a phenomenal thing, I would consider it paranormal.
Yeah,
but,
me too. Me too.
You know,
Right.
go ahead, guys.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, let's get back to Dahmer about when he got out of jail and he went to go retrieve his things from his grandmother's house.
Okay, what you got on it?
Yeah. Well, basically, D. Ray. Once he did that,
Yeah,
once he did that, he got his
Right.
own apartment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when he got his own apartment, like Trent said, that's when the shit happened. That's when he started, prowling the gay clubs and bath bars,
Bathhouses
bathhouses and
yeah.
stuff. He was just went on a prowl at this point. That's when Jeffrey Dahmer decided what he wanted to do with his life.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was learning. He's a lion for the first time in the jungle,
Yeah.
trying to stalk prey, and that's what he was doing, learning
He's
himself.
being all he can be.
Right.
Yeah, and then like you say, his thing was to create a zombie, basically.
Someone that was
Yeah.
never.
A sex slave, like he wanted a sex slave, like Ego said.
Sex
Right.
zombie.
Yeah, a
Right.
sex zombie.
Right.
He wanted somebody that
Would never
because-
leave him,
yeah would never leave him because the thing he would fuck these guys,
and they would leave.
kill them, and this shit he was through with them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he wanted to possess them forever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the neighbors complained about the smell coming from his apartment and shit, but I guess nobody thought there
Well,
would be
like-
fucking dead bodies.
Right. Like the black woman said,
Yeah.
this shit could have stopped if you would have listened to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You know,
crazy.
But here go the thing, psychologically, guys. This is nothing more than a cry for help, and here's why.
Huh?
Here's what I'm saying.
It's a cry for
Let's
help.
hear,
It's a
let's
crappy-
see his defense. Let's go.
Jeffrey don't want to be left alone. In his mind, in his world, he feel like he's left alone. For example, mother is off doing her thing. Dad has been off doing his thing, and they dumped him on grandma. Grandma really don't want him at the house no more. So he and himself is in an apartment by himself. The first time in his entire life by himself. His fear has always been being left alone, and he's buying his apartment by himself. He don't want to be left alone. And so you think about that in your children when you're raising them. You think
Well,
about
that's when you call your homies to come through.
right.
Or you hire a prostitute or something,
Okay.
you
Is
know?
that what you do?
no,
Trent?
no.
I'm just
You
saying.
don't just
You
start
can't just
eating
go
I
to
people.
a
would do
neighbor
that.
and say,
I would,
"Hey,
I would
I'm a
do
neighbor."
that before I started killing people,
Right,
like
Yeah.
Killing
right.
and eating them.
But-
eating them and shit.
But here's my point on that. It's funny you say that's when you call your homeboys come through.
Yeah.
Remember I told you I wanted to move and I wanted to be in a neighborhood. So my kids could have other neighborhood kids to grow up with so they won't be alone. Like
Yeah.
when me and Trent was growing up, we had a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is a need that everyone need and wants. And this man at 27 years old have understand more than anything else being left alone is a horrible, horrible thing. More horrible than taking a life.
I don't know about
I would
that.
That's how-
definitely I would
Probably for him, it was more horrible.
Right, for him. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. He
yeah.
did his thing.
I would definitely say, he basically learned his papa skill, with the bones and the cleaning of the meat thing as a coping mechanism to get his brain wired because he had antisocial skills. And so it just got carried away to the point that it turned into a murderous, satisfying intent.
Wow. And just
knows?
and check out the way that he made these zombies.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
he
the
would drill a hole in these guys' head
Yeah.
and inject either hot water or acid into their brain.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Mhm.
The acid. I didn't know about hot water.
Yeah, he tried both. He
Right.
said he tried a few different things. You know what I'm saying? But none of them worked. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I
you
thought
think?
okay.
Yeah. I mean, it probably
For a
would-
little
would-
bit.
I don't know. It probably fucked the person up to where they was in the daze, but it didn't make them into a zombie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So that's fucked. Just picture that,
I know.
motherfucker drilling into your fucking
And
head.
they're dead by that time.
No, they're not
No,
dead.
they still
While
alive.
this
They're
is
alive.
happening,
Yeah, they're alive.
he's drilling. Why he's so sick?
Yeah,
Because he already drugged them.
yeah, you already drugged.
So they feeling it, but they not.
yeah, you probably feeling it, but you can't do
He
shit
getting all
about it.
Get an erection by listening to them moan.
He got a hard dick the whole time.
I'm gonna get that.
He got a hard
His dick was
dick the
probably
whole
out
time.
while he was drilling.
is
For
fucked
real.
up.
Zombie
around.
fetish.
Wow.
Poor
That's-
people.
That is crazy.
He just didn't want to be alone,
Poor
guys.
victim.
But just him
You know
having
what?
all of his
Jay, I don't
refrigerator
think you
and
always
shit.
taking up for these sick fucks.
Sympathy for the devil.
No, it's not
That's
simply
Jay's
for the
thing.
devil. It's just to
He
understand.
just didn't want to be
people.
alone. Go get your ass a dog. Well, he would have killed the dog.
Well, the Los Angeles.
Yeah, he would have killed the dog.
Okay,
Exactly.
the Los Angeles Times claimed that he said after he was arrested, I know it's fast forward, that he was the devil. I pretty much doubt that, but I'm pretty sure the things that he did was kind of devilish.
Yeah,
Kind-
very
Kind
devilish.
of.
And then look at his the way he killed.
Yeah.
He had like a what do you call it when you do this like a ritual?
Okay.
The way he would do it, he would drug them. No,
Yeah.
first he would have drinks
Yes.
Yeah.
and he would turn on the movie The Exorcist
Right.
every time.
Oh,
yeah,
he did.
he would turn on The Exorcist and then he would put his little sleeping pill concoction, and then it's hammer time.
Is that how much time?
But he always The Exorcist. He said something about The Exorcist.
He gave him the energy to
gave
do.
yeah, it gave him the energy to do that. He would
Got it.
he would watch The Exorcist do before every kill.
Right.
Wow,
Okay.
that is incredible.
That
I'm
is
surprised
messed
he
up.
didn't rape anybody with no crucifix or something.
I know, right? And that's crazy because
Serious.
this guy, the one that he got caught for,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
the black guy, his name was Tracy Edwards. He said he was sitting there, and all of a sudden, Jeffrey snapped a handcuff on his wrist,
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
which was cool. He said it was cool. He thought it was like foreplay. They both gay or whatever and shit.
Mhm.
But he said once he popped the Exorcist tape in,
Mm.
and he looked over there and he seen a knife. You know what I'm saying? He said that was the last straw. He said he got up, punched the motherfucker in the face, and ran out.
Right.
He was the one. He was able to escape, and he came back later
Yeah. I was
with
gonna
the
say.
cops still wearing one handcuff and shit.
Mhm.
And Jeffrey was still kind of drunk and shit. He was just like, "Fuck it, I'm caught." You know what I'm saying?
Right. But he
So they-
wasn't.
Crazy.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, that's the one we got caught.
Yeah, because they came back with the he came back with the cops, and they was like, "Well, where are the keys to his handcuffs?" He said he just pointed to the back room. When they went to the back room, that's when they seen the skulls,
Yep.
the pictures,
Oh wow.
everything.
It's all the
Yeah.
goodies.
Yeah,
That's a
seen all the goodies, and that was a wrap for him.
Yeah.
Rap
Oh
right
wow.
there.
So,
So
that
he was committed of 6. He committed what 16?
17.
17
17
murders.
murders.
17
yeah.
murders.
So this guy was named Tracy Edwards, the black guy. He put hands on his ass. He seen that knife in The Exorcist. He was like, "Nah, something ain't right here, bro."
But thank God he was able to get away.
Black people, we don't watch The Exorcist.
Yeah, I know, right?
I do. I love The Exorcist.
I watched it.
It don't even bother me.
That's
my
the
favorite
scariest movies there. I can't watch it alone.
I got the T-shirt on.
Really?
Hell
You can't
no.
watch The Exorcist alone.
Fuck no.
He got the T-shirt on right now.
Hell
Represent.
nah.
Come on,
That's
man.
cool.
Yeah,
The
I
T-shirt
mean-
is cool, but I ain't watching that shit
Good ass. One of
alone.
my favorite movies.
I'll tell you this.
Childhood movies.
Wow, that shit is terrifying.
When I watched The Exorcist of Emily Rose, it had a different twist of how they, presented, the antagonist a different way.
Well, we talking about The
The
Exorcist.
Exorcist.
The movie, The Exorcist,
The
the
original
original
Yes,
one.
yes,
Exorcist.
yes. Right.
Yeah.
That will still be the top capital movie
Yes.
for me to get scared crapless.
That shit is horrifying.
You know, I mean, I think that it's so weird that so many people had an opportunity. So many people had an opportunity to stop him throughout his life.
Yeah.
So I mean, the idea of carrying a human in a fucking suitcase.
I know, right?
I mean, you don't understand how difficult and dragging he was
You had to
doing.
drag it,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, he had to drag
All
it.
that dead weight.
Right, you know what I'm saying? He had to drag that shit, and Grandma was sitting there probably looking at the window, going, "This boy here."
I know,
She
right?
coulda-
What he got now?
You know what I'm saying? She could have stopped him at any point in time. That's one.
Yeah.
You know, the dad, the mother could have said, "Hey, let's talk about Jeffrey. Some shit's not right with this little bastard."
Well, dad and mom trying to get paid off that shit now. They writing books and shit.
Well, yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
They never
It's
thought
been
their
a-
sperm and eggs would go this far.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So
Well, y'all so silly.
Did you say sperm and eggs?
Yeah, I
yes,
did.
that's sperm and egg.
Kind of bold for you to say.
Why is that bold? We talking about some crazy shit.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
never- they-
I'm right with it.
they- I mean,
You
they
right.
still going. They still making some money off of this crazy little fuck that they created.
I guess they say Jeffrey couldn't make no money, so shit, they'll make all the money.
Okay.
they going to get rich off of it.
For
Yes,
real.
yes.
Sperm and eggs.
You know, I'm just saying that there was a lot. I mean, and this is No, they're not. And this is a situation that happens with a lot of people, a lot of serial killers.
Yeah.
And that's why they always say, you see something, say something,
Yeah.
do something. Because
Right.
it's so many opportunities, so many times that you could have stopped this from ever happening. And people, the cops stopped him.
He was able to go on for 13 years.
Right. The military, he up in there raping soldiers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And they were like, fuck it, it's Jeffrey. You know what I'm saying? Like,
The crazy part to me is how were you able to dismember all of these people in your grandma's house without
He must have had a lot of plastic.
grandma knowing and shit?
right. No, it's not the plastic, the sound.
Yeah.
Okay, the sound. Maybe turn his music up real loud. She's already halfway deaf. or
And the
something.
cleanup.
And the smell.
The cleanup. I think the tools.
Yeah.
Even the sound that you would do in music wouldn't drown out those goddamn tools in your house.
Some Metallica.
You know, I mean, you'd had unless Jeff. I mean, I do know that you made the statement that Jeffrey would use a hammer to just crush the bones. All right, that's
That's loud.
I mean, would that? No, I don't think that would be loud. You could do that softly.
I always
Maybe
tell
he
you,
gave
you don't have
grandma
no
a
mechanical
cocktail.
aptitude. You can't crush a bone softly, bro.
Okay.
I
Versus,
don't know what kind of hammer you using. The
I mean,
Looney Tunes hammer and shit.
I'm just saying. No, to me, that part is very easy. That part would be taking a fucking just a piece of rug and putting it down over top of the floor just to silence that. Hold that shit down and tap it.
But how do you get to the bones?
Well, he's already dismembered. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Wow.
You know, the only way. So you could do that with a hammer without making noise,
Yeah.
but that's not. You couldn't do a whole body of bones like that unless they were already just there.
Yeah.
So it had to be a saw. It's like some type of chainsaw.
Yeah.
Something had to be. How did he do all that? Unless his
then-
grandma couldn't hear it all.
And then one of the neighbors at
Maybe he
the
gave her a
apartments
cocktail.
complained about him using the chainsaw late at night.
See, okay, see that's what I'm talking
You
about.
know what I'm saying?
Like
That's
what
crazy.
the fuck is he doing with a chain?
At 3 a.m.
Now, why wouldn't someone at that point said, "Hey, enough, goddamn it"? At least not
Something wrong.
If
now.
we hear a chainsaw in the next office, we gonna be like, "What the
the fuck, and we gonna go see what the
I
hell
know,
going
right?
on. We
I
coulda-
just wonder, any of these writers and directors who specialize in horror, how come why they couldn't make a Milwaukee version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
what?"
Well, think about it. This would be a good recipe to make a horror film based off of Chainsaw Massacre guy in Milwaukee. He's a cannibal, but he's targeting gay guys.
Okay.
Okay, well, you put that out in the universe. Maybe
Yeah,
you'll get a
maybe
call
it'll
back.
happen. Maybe it'll happen.
Maybe
Yeah.
so.
They got a few movies about Dahmer though.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
they
do.
do.
Yeah.
They do. You know.
Yeah.
So I like I said, the one thing about these serial killers I fucking love, they all wear the same glasses.
Wow.
They're
Those
fucking
big
awesome.
80s glasses?
Yeah, they all wear the
They're
same
so big.
glasses.
Wow.
They're not those, David. They all wear the same glasses, and they always look cool with them on. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So
Cool to you.
yeah, to
He
me
would
they do.
praise some sick fucks.
I mean,
know,
That
right?
is so interesting
Well,
Yeah.
to me, the reason why is this here.
because they're different.
It's
You
they,
know,
they
no,
have the
another-
ability.
No,
to
another
do
thing I
go
noticed
forward.
that a lot of them have in common.
What?
What?
Working at a chocolate factory. Did you know he worked at a chocolate
A
factory
chocolate
too?
Yeah, he
Chocolate
did.
factory.
Remember
Wait a minute, who
Candyman?
else
Yeah,
worked
he
at a
liked
chocolate
chocolate.
factory?
Remember the guy, the Candyman worked at
Yes.
a chocolate factory? There was a few of them
Oh,
worked at
yeah.
chocolate factories.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I only know those two, but you're
Nah,
right.
there's a few more. Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what was going on back then. Maybe, the factory was like,
maybe. And then the crazy part,
Hmm.
he actually took one of the skulls to work at the chocolate factory and had it in his locker. So he could
Oh.
come in and look at it at lunchtime and shit.
that is.
He would go in there and open his locker and look at the skull and shit.
He's so proud of that
Yeah.
skull and the beauty of that skull. He owns it.
Wow. Yep. That's some
He's
sick
proud of
shit.
it.
That's his
Mm.
keepsake.
Yeah. You know,
Mhm.
I mean,
Well,
go ahead. Go ahead.
There is a film based off of Jeffrey Dahmer titled Dahmer, and the villain who plays that character is Jeremy Renner, who also played the character of Hawkeye from the Marvel franchise.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember that was his breakout movie.
Yeah, and I think old boy worked in the chocolate factory too before he started his business. But he wasn't a serial killer. What's that guy that we done the show on from Seabrook?
Oh, I forgot your name. I didn't talk about
Yeah,
that.
that
Well,
guy.
I think that at that time, because chocolate became a big thing in America,
Yeah.
there was factories. Just like it would have been the same as saying, "Hey, he worked at Detroit Motors."
Okay.
Maybe that's the reason why.
Maybe.
Or maybe the chocolate factory didn't give a fuck who worked there.
Maybe they put you got to be a serial killer to work here.
Right.
Or some
That's why.
shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's part of it.
Wow.
But I mean, the one thing that they really do have in common, all of these guys, other than their glasses, what they really have in common is
Strategy.
no,
Sickness.
they want to be with someone forever.
Right.
Uh,
I do, but
I
I
do
don't
too.
want
Do
to.
they really
Possession.
want to be with someone
Shit.
forever?
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're killing them?
Yes, they're possessing. That's why they keep the little trinkets. That's why they cheat.
Trinket.
Trinkets.
Yeah,
I'm
you do
sorry.
like keep trinkets.
Right. They keep these things of their victims as a reminder and they can remember it. We just did a whole show on Sam Little, guys.
Yeah.
Excellent show.
This man was able to recall every single person he killed and draw pictures of them. And he killed right at 100 people.
Yeah.
So you understand how important those little things are to them. None of those people are lost, so to speak.
Well, I'm
He
reading,
owns them.
I'm
Go ahead.
reading this, and Dahmer says that his compulsion toward necrophilia
Mhm.
began around the age of 14, and he said it started when his parents' marriage started to break down. I don't see how that
I don't know.
relates
How
with
that
each
correlates
other.
with each
Yeah,
other.
you know what I'm saying. But he said that's when he started developing his compulsions toward necrophilia.
That doesn't even make sense.
It
My-
doesn't, but
My
this,
family's
this,
getting
this is from his
divorced,
mind.
and I want to eat people now.
Hey, shit. Stranger shit didn't happen.
I thought, wait a minute, maybe I got this wrong. I thought necrophilia was when you have sex with dead people.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
he
did.
had sex with
okay,
plenty of
too.
dead
okay,
people.
but he just said I want to eat dead people. I want to eat.
Yeah.
So I just thought that's
Well,
It's-
eating is part of sex.
I mean,
Well,
It
it's a
is.
different. It's a different.
Well, I don't mean
disorder.
You're not
actually eating. I mean like eating pussy and shit. That's
consuming.
part of it.
Oh no.
you're not. You're biting, but you're actually tearing and biting, and then you're chewing
And
and then
digesting.
you're digesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do like to bite, but
Uh-oh.
I don't-
David, beware.
I mean, I can bite either one of y'all. I mean,
Oh,
but
shit.
I'm not gonna eat you.
Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully not.
I'm not gonna bite. It's just
Wow.
different. So I'm trying to see
You promise?
if his parents got a divorce and that sent him over the top to now I want to eat people.
It turned him
Cannibalism eating,
Turn
not
him
eating.
into an animal.
Do you know how many people get? So how many kids would be eating people?
Well, maybe that's just something he'd
Wow.
been wanting to do, but then he was like, "That's it. That does it. I'm gonna eat people now."
Fuck that. I've been
Okay.
thinking about it. It's happening.
Yeah.
Wow.
So here you go. You guys at home, check it out. I would like you to, pay attention. Hear what we have to say. If you would like to catch on the thread, let us know your thoughts on why Jeffrey did what he did, and if you were presented, right? Say, just put yourself in Jeffrey's shoes. Do
Nobody
you
wanna
think?
wear
Do you honestly think you could fight off the darkness and not do what Jeffrey did? And if you could, how would you do it? I would like to know in the comments. Okay. After that, you know what I'm saying? After you do that, we should be back from a break. Okay. We out.
Hello, my name is Robert Richard, and I'm the host of an exciting new show called What's That Network, where you and the contestants guess the cash flow of the most popular celebrities around today for cash and prizes. I want you to go to Ego Network TV on YouTube to watch the show. Please, please, please like, subscribe, and also follow us on Instagram at ego_network_TV. I'll see you there.
What's that network? 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 What's that network?
And we're back. So,
Yes, we are.
you guys at home, we have been talking about
Jeffrey Dahmer,
exactly.
sick mofo.
Yes. Well, so you guys understand, Jeffrey is the son of Joyce Dahmer and Lionel Dahmer.
Yeah.
So we spoke about it earlier that they're getting paid doing these different things, trying to put out these books or whatnot. So I would like to rescind, a lot of what I said before, because according to the FBI profile, these serial killers normally have a bad upbringing, and mostly it's the mother. And when you take a look at how everything has been done, the media coverage and how they did everything, Joyce Dahmer, the mother, is a counselor, and she's been taking the blunt of this. Oh, you weren't a good mother. You weren't this. Even to the point that she went on television to show you how much of a good mother she was. That when she had him, how she taught him the Lord's Prayer, how she did all of these things for Jeffrey. That after he committed his particular crimes, she was at work, and she's a counselor, and most of her patients, they were very satisfied, with her. They supported her, and they had a new boss. And the new boss came in and said, "You cannot have a picture of your son in this desk, on your desk. You can't be basically you can't recognize your son." And then after a while, they said, "You know what? We don't need you representing our company."
That's right.
And they fired her. All right. So life was very difficult for her in that way. Now these things did not happen to the dad.
Right.
All right, but they did happen to her, and that's kind of weird because, as I said on multiple shows, based off FBI, it's always the mother who did these things that created this particular killer. And now if you pay close attention, you're watching it. The dad was able to get a book deal. The mother was not. When the mother went to say it, they say, "Oh, we already have his book," and that was it. So you can kind of see that everything is being put again on the mother. There is also she has a doctor with her, and in this doctor basically says, people want to blame the families and different things of that nature, and they could have done things differently. She said, but sometime, bad stuff just happened, which is something that we said last segment. Some things are just bad.
I think that's the case in this case.
Right. Some things are just bad. And she said, so the thing is that the truth of the matter is that we're studying it. Right now, we're actively studying this. Okay. So with that being said, her name is actually Dr. Angela Brown Miller. Okay. And so she's also having other serial killers, parents. They've also joined her study, and they're trying to figure out how could they actually stop this before it happens. Well, I know this might sound weird to you guys, but hear me out thing right here. This is a big phenomenon, and here's why. If you even watch American Horror Story in 1984, right? There's the episode is called 1984. Nurse Rita from American Horror Story is played by Angelique Ross. She plays a camp counselor, but what she really is, right? She's a woman studying serial killers. And that's where American Horror Story get this little thing about this woman. She's studying the effects of serial killers. So when you watch that, you understand in 1984 it's the same thing as what this woman has already been doing. And she's trying to figure out, like, hey, family members get hurt, family members do whatever, But I only say this and bring this up in a big way because I've always said that the mother is the reason why these children are screwed up.
You always say that you bashing moms and shit.
Right. And
I don't get it in that one.
right.
Not
That's
in
what I'm
this
saying.
case.
That's what I'm saying. I'm recanting that
Yeah.
situation because
This one was
this woman went
a little
through
different.
went through a whole lot to show
Yeah.
us what she did with Jeffrey. So what if she neglected him? So what? She did not physically or mentally torment or abuse this man, which we saw in other cases. So this one is different. So it clearly shows whatever's in you is in you. And this is what the scientists so far have to say on it. Not enough information. We still need more. So what they're telling you on the cool right now, what they really need, they literally need, again, American Horror Story, they need a serial killer to be actively killing, and they can take part in the situation and watch. Now you think about that.
Wow, that's
Can-
incredible.
Can I also put in the trial legal?
Get on your mic, David.
Yes. All right. According to the trial of Jeffrey Dahmer that began
The
in-
brain.
yes, of course. January 1992, we all know that most of the victims were mostly African American, which brought in racial tension, during to his verdict.
Yeah.
At first, he pleaded not guilty all charges, even after confessing the killings during the police interrogation. But he changed his mind to pleading guilty by plea of insanity.
Wow.
And then in his defense, when he offered gruesome details of his behavior, that someone insane could do it, the jury already made up that he was fully aware that his acts were evil and wrong to choose to commit them anyway. So on February 15th, 1992, they came to the decision out of 10 hours of discussion that he was sentenced to 15 consecutive life terms in prison with the 16th term tracked on in May.
Wow. Well, let's.
Well, let me just say one more thing.
Go ahead. Go
To it. The situation. Well, two more things. The mother, right, Joyce. Her shit was so bad she went into depression and tried to kill herself.
Oh dear.
Right. And then the most important part is she became embroiled in a hell of a battle with her husband to actually fight for the fact of Jeffrey Dahmer's brain. And the judge decided the dad didn't want it. He wanted the son cremated. And the mother wanted to give the brain to science so they could study it so it would not happen again to other people. But the judge decided to side with the dad and therefore cremation. Go ahead, Trent.
Okay. Well, as I'm looking, Jay, you know, they say his brain was actually retained for study. In his body. I'm sorry, I just read that his brain was retained for study and the rest of his body was cremated. Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
that's one of the points I brought up.
Oh,
Okay.
no, the judge actually said, they said that he was cremated, and the judge leaned toward the father.
Well, that's what I'm
the-
reading right here. It says Dahmer's brain was retained for study. The apartment complex where he had lived had been demolished, and they cremated his body. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, well, this is just let's look into his apartment
Okay.
and look at some of the things they found when they came. They found photographs
Uh-huh.
of mangled bodies,
Mm.
4 skulls in the refrigerator,
Nice.
several dismembered organs and bodies,
Ooh.
blue barrel vats containing whole bodies,
Blue what?
Blue
barrel
vat.
vats. Looks
Yeah.
like a big blue barrel,
Mhm.
like a
The
vat.
barrels.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Neatly wrapped strips of human flesh in the
Neatly.
refrigerator.
Neatly.
Wow.
Fried
So
like
you had like
bacon.
cutlets and shit and steaks.
Right.
We gonna fry that
Human
shit up.
steaks.
That means he really got off to that to really be
Yeah,
so
that's what I say. He could have
careful.
wrote a
Yeah.
cookbook.
Right.
A barrel containing 3 human torsos. Wow.
Whoa.
Dahmer was charged with 15 murders. Well, we said 17. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
We
what
know
he
it's
said.
But
17
it's
total.
actually 17.
Yeah, so this info might be a little off because they actually said they saved the brain. So I don't know.
Right. They didn't.
But that's what they found in this fucking house.
You know, what I would like to talk about is the karma that Jeffrey Dahmer faced
Oh.
for all this brutalizing, this murder, this having sex with all these African American men and taking their lives. That his life was brutally taken while he was in jail by a black man.
It wasn't brutal enough, if you ask me.
It really wasn't. It
Right.
should have been torture. He should have been truly tortured. But I think he got the easy way out. But at least it was some kind of karma
Yeah,
to say, hey, you know what I'm saying? You deserve this shit to get fucked up.
he got the brakes beat off his ass.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, that was.
That was disturbing.
Well, no, just go ahead. I mean,
You sure?
yeah. What the hell,
Get it.
man?
Okay,
he-
viewer discretion advised.
No, they're not. Stop it. Pull that shit up. So,
God, this
Yeah.
is inhumane.
let me show you what the anchor man has brought ahead, and I can
What he got there?
I can read it
On
much
July
much faster than him.
22nd,
Okay.
1991.
While
Take it
searching
from here.
for evidence, Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment, police officers Randolph Miller makes a gruesome discovery. Okay, so there was a Polaroid of a naked man, right, posed on the bed as a dead body.
Ew.
Well, and dismembered bodies.
That's crazy.
So this is
that's the photo right
right.
there.
That's a man on the bed, and then the next one. Go ahead.
Oh,
The next one
Yep.
is the man.
oh.
Is the man?
Oh wow, that's
um,
disgusting.
He carved out all those organs and left
Your
it in the
mic, David.
tub.
Right.
He carved out all those organs and left it on the tub based on the photo. Ooh.
I mean, this is stuff that we would have to show you that is really, really, really graphic. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take pictures of it and send it home. But it is crazy. This man, he cut the hands and the feet off. I mean, so we're getting
Is
his.
that that guy's
Oh,
head?
that's just
Yeah, that's his hands.
Oh, that's his penis.
Oh,
right, and his
Wow.
hands, feet, penis, and
What the fuck
He
is that?
disfigured them into different shapes.
Wow, that's incredible.
This guy has no remorse. He thought this that he claimed as a creative thing was a sick form of art.
wow.
Dear
And you feel sorry for him, Jay?
God.
You still feel sorry for him, Jay?
Oh,
do I still feel sorry for him?
no.
That really sick,
I don't know what y'all mean about I feel sorry for him. I feel like what he was doing, he said exactly what he was doing, just like Ted Bundy said.
Anybody
Same
getting
thing.
a hard on looking at them pictures?
No.
How about you, Jay?
Nope.
This guy's neck has been broken off.
Wow.
Oh God. Oh my.
Okay.
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 So for some reason,
Wow.
David can't watch this without having. Okay, so what you was reading was
That is
this
sick.
guy was actually posing for these pictures. So there's only a couple of them where he was cut open and stuff like
Wow.
that. The guy was posing. This is before he was dead.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So
Well, look, I got an actual quote from Dahmer.
Mhm.
He said, "After the fear and terror of what I'd done had left, which took about a month or two, I started it all over again. From then on, it was a craving, a hunger. I don't know how to describe it, a compulsion.
Yeah.
And I just kept doing it, and doing it whenever the opportunity presented itself."
Doing it well.
I know, I was going to say that too, doing
I was
it,
gonna
doing
say
it,
that.
doing
That's
it.
the way
well.
that's
Try not to
That
go
is,
there.
I know, right?
He did it well.
I know, wow.
you know,
That's crazy, man.
to hear his voice at that point, that quote that was taken is powerful.
yeah.
I mean, because that is when he became, at that point, a serial killer.
Yeah.
You know,
especially for not having any remorse for his victims.
Right.
right. Well,
I don't think any of them do that.
none of them do.
Right.
But what made him a serial killer is when he did that 1 month, and then he went on and started doing it and doing it. He became a serial killer.
I guess people they say you got to have the calm down period,
The cool down period.
but
Yeah.
I don't.
You know,
I don't believe that's like law. They say it is.
that's
but
the
if
law they made.
yeah, I know. But if you killing motherfuckers every day with no cool down, I think you're still a fucking serial killer. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you killing a person, then you become
spree killer. I know that's
right,
what you're
spree
about to
killer.
say.
Yeah.
But, you know,
but yeah,
tomato.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But either way it go, what doesn't change is the fact that you are
killing
a killer.
motherfuckers.
A killer. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Wow.
I mean, yeah. I mean, people have a lot of sadistic fantasies, actually.
Yeah.
And they don't act on them. You know, you suppress the darkness, right? Because as long as you are a human, there is good and there's bad. And you can choose whichever route you want to go. And unfortunately for young Jeffrey and old Jeffrey and deceased Jeffrey, he chose the other way.
Picture that, though. You living with all these fucking dead bodies and heads and dicks and all kind of shit, man.
It takes a special person.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. I would be fucking horrified to even spend 2 minutes in a place like that,
Getting
bro.
good sleep.
Yeah.
You
Like
just
nothing,
sleep
right?
and you got torsos in the bucket over here and shit.
And had the motherfucker on your bed.
Yeah.
I mean, and the
the
thing.
smell of death in the fucking air.
Well, he was very talented because in those pictures, you notice there was no blood.
Right.
Okay.
They were clean cut.
Right.
wow.
Riblets in the refrigerator.
Right.
I
Right.
know.
You know,
McRibs and shit.
So he was
He had it
talented.
mastered.
Yeah, he had it mastered.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
And that is the most scariest part.
It is.
You know, you have these guys who get paid to butcher cattle, right? And because of butchering cattle, we have meat in the store. You understand that these guys know how they know very well how to skin and do a person.
but they're
that
still
way.
going to be slopping.
Precise cuts.
I'm just saying they know precise cuts. Like
Yeah.
that's a good way. They know precise cuts. You know, and this man was operating just like they do.
One of the
They
Wow.
do.
he did.
You know, and he had, like Trent said earlier, he had the meat all nicely neat in the
Yeah.
refrigerator. I mean, this guy had his
Yeah,
own
meal planning
slaughterhouse.
going on.
Right, he had his
Meal
own
planning.
right.
Yep.
He had his own slaughterhouse. You know,
Right, he did.
yeah. I mean, shit. I want to say he was more, but he wasn't, because even in the slaughterhouse they use this little gun and put it to the damn cow's head, and it's a
Right.
one shot, one kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, with people, he even fucked them first, and then
Right.
afterwards. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's fucked up.
Wow, that's
Man.
crazy.
So, I mean, do I feel sorry for Jeffrey Dahmer? Yes.
I don't.
I-
Fuck him.
No, I don't feel
Okay.
sorry for him.
No, I feel sorry for Jeffrey.
Do you feel sorry for his victims?
I feel incredibly sorry for his
Yes.
victims.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
I feel sorry for all of the serial killers, for example, because
All the serial killers.
I feel sorry for them because they are sick. They can't control it. And
I think they can.
yeah, the time that they could have, and they was calling out for help, no one recognized.
Surpassed it.
Yeah, it was over with.
It was too late.
And by that time, now you have a lot of victims, and it's so sad how this really works. You know what I'm saying? With everyone, the serial killer and the victims, this is a sad
I
situation.
think once a person's found out to be a serial killer and they can prove it, they should just be put to death.
I think so too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, you know,
they're not gonna
if
stop.
if we want mercy for Jeffrey Dahmer or not, I'm going to leave it up to you as the fans. I'm going to bring this information as far as his conversion to Christianity. Please judge for yourself.
Bullshit.
Yeah,
no,
I thought so too. But just to be fair for everybody who's doubting that he could be completely evil, his conversion after taking a Bible course suggesting to a friend, Dahmer sought conversion to Christianity by Church of Christ minister Roy Ratcliffe, and he was baptized in prison in May 1994.
Then he really got baptized with that dumbbell.
I'm
Right.
gonna say, based on my opinion, I think they were just trying to just do it for the sake of saving his soul. I don't think he's very honest about it.
Well, when he
I
was
think he was trying to save that ass from the other inmates. You know
Probably
what I'm saying?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably so.
well, I remember
Right.
when he was younger, he would go to church with his grandmother, but he probably was trying to save his soul now because he did so much. He's like, I want to get into heaven, and so
No chance.
I'm going to save my soul, and maybe I'll be able to let in, because if you confess your sins and you can get into heaven supposedly no matter what you've done.
And then
Right.
the crazy part, the guy that killed him
Mm-hmm.
said that Dahmer didn't fight back. He didn't make a sound at all when he was killing him. Like no screaming, nothing. He didn't even make a sound.
He knew his day was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted it to be over.
He
Yeah.
went, yeah.
Hell yeah.
He
That's
knew
crazy.
November
been
28th,
sick.
1994, his death.
Yep.
You know, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think that someone, a serial killer, for example, would believe in heaven and hell. So the
Right.
fact, the idea of them going, oh, I've turned to Christianity
Repent.
is only a fucking act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's another part of their manipulation.
Yeah.
They would
But
not turn to Christianity.
And then you got to think though, Jay. When you in jail, you got a lot of fucking time to think.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know
That-
what
Lot
I'm
of
saying?
time.
You got a lot of time to think. You know what I'm saying? But I agree.
Yeah.
With what you said though.
Me too.
This motherfucker, you've
That's
been watching
bullshit.
The Exorcist before you kill
Yeah,
and
he's like,
shit,
Right.
and now you a fucking
Wait a minute, I
Christian.
can turn to
That was-
Jesus.
Right,
I know.
right.
Everybody's gonna
Out- out-
forgive me.
Right. Out of
Shit,
all
shit,
the
shit, shit.
time you watching The Exorcist, like Trent said,
Yeah.
that you mean to tell me now Jesus is gonna walk on me as I'm in prison and say,
Right.
"Come
Right.
to me." No,
Right.
you should have said that shit earlier, and I would have saved a whole lot of people.
I know, right?
And
You
if Jesus
everybody-
did, I would then definitely hate Jesus.
Most of the people find Jesus in jail.
See, that's ignorance. I would hate him if I went on a killing spree, killing everybody, right? And then I finally got caught, and my ass is in prison. And that's when Jesus said, "Come to me, I'm your way." I would really hate him at that point, because if you could have done this now, you could have stopped me a long time ago. You could have showed me you were real, and I'd have been okay, cool. I would have followed you, and a lot of people wouldn't be dead.
We're not even gonna respond to that, Jay.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I am going to quote the moderator's quote like he did like 2 episodes ago, and I'm
Which
definitely
was?
going to agree with him. Actions do speak louder than words when it comes to converting
Yeah.
back to Christ.
Yeah.
And I have not seen any details. Now, please forgive me if I'm wrong. I want to be proven wrong in this one. If he did do any ounce of good while he was in prison, I need to know.
I doubt it.
Seriously.
He didn't kill nobody.
Yes, that's the
the
best
only
thing he
thing.
could.
I know.
Exactly.
Right?
There's
he couldn't,
nothing.
'cause
There's nothing he could have done to make
nothing.
up for
God,
what
please
he
forgive
did.
me for saying.
Nothing he
It's
could have done
just
to make up for that
after
shit.
seeing this
No.
horrific, monstrosity that he has done, it's like
Over and over.
how and why?
Yeah, I've done a lot of bad shit, and I'm still trying to atone for it. There is no amount, right, of atonement
Atonement.
that he could have done to make any of what he's done
I
right.
know, right?
To make any of what
You
he's
have to
done right.
unkill some people.
Yeah, unkill. Yeah,
possible?
you have
Is
to
that
bring him
possible?
back. Yeah, bring him back to life. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if Jesus
Wow.
come in there and help him out.
Yeah, maybe. You
But I
never
tell
know.
you what, guys, we are pretty much out of info on Jeffrey Dahmer's, other than he was a cool dude or not.
A cool dude for
Nah.
a psychopath.
So
Yeah.
so it's up to you on that one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And before I sign off, I'm gonna tell you the weirdest thing about it is, for each and every one of these serial killers that go, worldwide, if that makes sense, become famous, they receive a ton of letters and different things of fans, people who
Yeah.
love them. Now,
That is crazy.
women love them, men love them, people idolize them, want to give them money. I mean, if this continues, which it will, how will we know when and where to cut off? When will it ever stop?
Well, you
when
got a
will
lot
the-
of sick fucks in the world.
There's a
right?
lot
Yeah.
of sick fucks.
You know what I'm
Potential serial killers.
saying?
Right.
yeah.
Right.
You know.
So that's kind of weird, but that's all our information today. And I am your host, JH.
And I'm your moderator, Trent A. Johnson.
And this is your anchorman, Dave R. Signing off. Please be safe.
I am the voice of Erica.
And don't forget the show coordinator, the weatherman.
We already forgot your ass.
Yeah.
Sound like you forgot yourself and
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
for a minute.
And I'm your super repeat offender, Ego.
Right.
But not sex offender.
I don't know how he gave himself the name Super.
I
I
know,
thought that was
right?
between you and I to give
I
that.
know,
That's
right?
an ego
You
complex.
just-
I
you
think
just-
ego is
ego
super.
complex on
Yeah,
me.
you just hear, bro. You just hear.
It's an
And-
ego
And
complex.
then we didn't even give him repeat offender. What happened when Janet come back?
Exactly.
Oh, it's Jen's birthday.
Oh,
birthday,
Happy birthday,
Janet.
Janet.
Happy birthday, Janet.
Happy birthday, Janet. Wayne, Wayne. Right?
So I
Birthday.
tell you what, guys, you at home, you know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, share. We love you. Until next time, we out.
Peace.
Hello, my name is Robert Richard, and I'm the host of an exciting